Good day and a very warm welcome to this web clinic. CoordiKids is committed, as always, to provide the information and strategies to help as many children as possible. Let's just start with a few housekeeping issues. Make sure that your speakers or headphones are connected to your computer and that your computer's volume is turned up. You do not need a microphone. Everyone except me is muted. We'll email a link to the recording of this web clinic in a few days' time, and you'll have access to that for about 2 weeks. So use the menu on the right of your screen, which looks like this. You can check your sound in the box as indicated. Post your questions in the box marked questions. Please do not, please do not use the chat box because I won't look at the chat box. I will only look at the questions, and I will divide this webinar in a few sections, and after each section I will answer the questions that you ask about that section. So, and at the end I'll be available for 10 to 20 minutes to answer more questions. You can also contact me via email at marga@coordikids.com with any questions or concerns that you might have. I'll answer these individually and your privacy will be valued. The slides are available for you to download at this time. The slides are numbered so you can relate your notes to the slides at a later time. I hope this webinar will provide insight in the use of the CoordiKids programs to enhance your therapy and to help as many children and families as possible. So first of all, for those who don't know me, I am Marga Gray. I am a pediatric occupational therapist with a keen interest in sensory integration and sensory processing. And I've been this for about 40 years, so I've been around for a long time. I have studied my bachelor's and master's degrees in occupational therapy in South Africa at Stellenbosch and Witwatersrand, respectively. I did my first course in sensory integration in the early 80s, probably before some of you were born. The concept of sensory integration made sense to me, and I completed my postgrad studies to become a qualified sensory integration therapist. I have seen many positive results and excellent outcomes with this approach. However, I have not stopped training. I have attended numerous courses, workshops and studies throughout the years, and I continue to do so. I'm always looking for the best options to address functional issues that my clients might experience. And I have a keen interest and love for neurology and neuroscience, which helps me to link sensory integration and neuro in a lovely dance. I see excellent results when using this approach. I'm also a mother of 3 adult children and 4 gorgeous grandchildren. My latest focus is the CoordiKids programs, and that is why you are listening at this stage. I have developed these programs to help as many children as possible. At present, online programs are an effective way to reach many children. At CoordiKids, we rely on many years' experience and also on the latest research to ensure that the information we provide, our programs and our advice are the best and the most relevant to help your child and or the children in your care. So I'm going to help you to use our programs to complement your individual therapy sessions or to provide group sessions. And this can help you to generate a passive income. It won't be a massive income, but it will be a little bit of a passive income, and also to help you to obtain very, very good results. So let's look at the topics that we'll cover tonight. First of all, we'll look at the development of CoordiKids. I want to give you some background on why we decided to do this, how we did it, because that will add value to your perception of this program. And then we will discuss the program layout of CoordiKids, how the program follows one month after the other, and how you can use it in therapy and for homework in therapy sessions. And then also how you can generate an extra income as an affiliate member, how you can use it to improve therapy results, and how you and your practice can become a CoordiKids provider. So we have just started to train the providers, and the first one should be finished within the next few weeks, and then she'll be ready to roll. She's not an occupational therapist, by the way, but she has a good background with children. Okay, so let's look at the development of CoordiKids. So after this section, I will answer questions if you have any questions on that section. If not, we'll just continue to the next one. So I think you can relate to the feelings of being overwhelmed when you have assessed a child with complex problems. You can usually clearly see the problems that the child has with the functions of the midbrain and the cerebellum. But then you also see that cognitive skills are impacted negatively. So this leaves one with feelings of confusion. You as a therapist want to address the functional issues in the classroom, such as handwriting and memory. But you know you should also address the gross motor skills and balance to improve posture. I find that time is usually limited, and of course you, parents, teachers, and other allied health professionals want to see results as quickly as possible. So you want to use the best to-the-point intervention, strategies, and therapy while putting all the pieces of the child's life together to create a clear picture of the best intervention for this child. Personally, I often feel as if I am running out of time, and at times I feel disappointed because problems are not solved in the time available for parents to use regarding funding. So Lindy and we were working together at that time, and we discussed these issues many times. We knew that the exercises to encourage the functions of the midbrain and the cerebellum can be easy to address if specific exercises are done regularly and correctly at home. However, more often than not, we found that parents did not do the exercises, were inconsistent in doing it, and or didn't encourage the child to do the correct movement or to use the correct posture. Now, I don't blame any parent. I don't point fingers. Parents have a very challenging task and they are very busy people. But that is the fact, and we always think that a kid can improve better and quicker if all these exercises are done regularly at home. It's so much better to do them 5 days a week than to only do them once a week in therapy, or even less when they only come in fortnightly or monthly. So we look at the child in this way. There are puzzle pieces that need to be put in place by various people to help the child towards achieving optimal skills. First of all, we assess the child and recommend therapy according to the child's problem areas. The teacher can follow classroom recommendations in the school to help the child using strategies that we trial in therapy. The parents has therapy homework to do in the form of exercises and activities. And then, of course, we usually collaborate with other health professionals and medical professionals. I'm sure this is more or less standard procedures for therapists. However, we experience some problems, and you might also experience problems with this whole system. So firstly, we realize how many functional problems the child experiences, stretching from the functions of the brainstem to the cortex. as mentioned, we find that we have often limited time available to address all of the issues. Through all the years that I have been working as a pediatric OT, I have taken time to prioritize functions and to address the most urgent ones first, the ones that have the biggest impact on the child. I relate SI with neurodevelopment and identify sensory processing issues and neurodevelopmental issues. In general, individual weekly therapy sessions, excellent progress is made in the child's development. However, many cannot afford ongoing weekly sessions. For these families, we provide homework exercises to complement therapy sessions. But homework creates other problems regarding the implementation of the exercises and activities. Parents often do not understand the value of regular repetition and daily exercises. They usually have a limited understanding of the neurodevelopmental phases, and the child often arrives at therapy with no homework done. So, being OTs, we decided to make a plan. Video recordings provide the accurate example of the specific exercise or activity. Video recordings are easy for a child to follow, and it leaves the parent free to observe the child and to assist the child where necessary. We created a spreadsheet of exercises starting at the sensory modulation activities and, while following the neurodevelopmental stages, increase in challenges and demands to reach the perceptual and the praxis exercises after 1 year. Yes, the full CoordiKids program stretches over a 1-year period. This encourages development and does not use splinter skills for quick and often temporary fixes. We use the available research studies to ensure that the program will be based on sound evidence. I can assure you, studies on sensory modulation are available, but few studies on the specific sensory motor skills are available. I found some, and one specific one drew my attention to the correlation between dyslexia and balance, posture, and other sensory motor skills. And that was like music to me, because that is what I do believe, is that we can address so many problems like dyslexia by using the sensory motor skills and improving the sensory motor skills. So many studies have been conducted in recent years with new knowledge, MRIs, and other measuring tools that indicate the importance of functions of the cerebellum, the interaction between many different areas in the brain, and the importance of the underlying or foundational skills for the adequate functioning of the cortex. And also, of course, the plasticity of the brain, which I have always believed in, and now there are many other people who believe it too. So you can contact me for many research studies. Most are on PDF documents, and I'll have to use WeTransfer to send these big files to you. I have tried to put them up as documents to download tonight, but it's really challenging, and I don't want to give you one or two. So if you are interested and we can talk about it, then I will send you the ones that I have. So video recordings are easy for parents to follow, to measure the child's success when participating, and to report to the therapist on progress. The parent can indicate the exact exercise that the child has problems with, and the therapist, with the knowledge of the full program, can easily identify why the child has issues with a specific exercise. Okay, so let's have a look at just evidence. We followed the neurodevelopmental phases. That is something that all OTs and physiotherapists are familiar with. We tended to the integration of some of the primitive reflexes. We used our knowledge and skills in sensory motor integration. We used the evidence-based research that we could find. We based on study success in therapy, trialed and tested over 40 years. And I can tell you that I've worked out a program that I follow, and I still follow it with kids in individual sessions, and it works. I get really, really good results. So yeah, you can go to our website to read some of the success stories, and you can listen to those videos, and you can ask me for more if you need some more. Also, a good read is the book that I have published with the help of Dimi, my colleague. It's Sensory Motor Skills, Functional Implications, and it's written for parents, but it is about stories about children of different ages with different problem areas, and how they have improved when we improve the sensory motor skills, or when we have developed the sensory motor skills. Okay, so let me check there's no questions up to now. So now I'm going to tell you more about the development. Sorry, this slide should have been deleted, so I'm going to go to the next one. We have discussed this one. Okay, so first of all, we had to find a name. So the name Lindy came up with CoordiKids, and that means coordinated children, and we just love that because that's what we want. We want kids to be coordinated. We need a program that's affordable. So the best option to go to was a membership site, so parents pay monthly payments, and it's not a once-off big payment for them, which is very affordable. Then we needed successful outcomes of this program. So development cannot take place over a very short period of time, then it's usually not sustainable. So we decided on a one-year commitment, and that also gave us the opportunity to provide support to parents via Skype and phone consultations. Then also it needs to be easy to use. It doesn't help to have a fantastic program, but it's so difficult to use that nobody wants to use it. So we opted for the online program. We can give clear instructions there. We can do parent education online, so we can train parents and help parents to educate themselves to understand these problem areas much better. And also easy to use means no extra equipment that the parents have to buy. If you go through the program, we have used common household equipment and things that you have in your house. I think the only thing that some parents might have to purchase is a gym ball, but many households have that in any case. So we just worked all the exercises around no extra equipment. And then we felt that we have to address the sensory processing, which also include the modulation. We didn't want the program to focus on modulation, but we are addressing the 7 senses. The first stages of the program tend to all 7 of these senses. So the first few fortnights focus on that, and plus also the sense of movement and the sense of proprioception. And then the majority of the program focuses on the neurodevelopment and praxis. So I'm not going to read through all of that, but it's things like muscle tone, rhythm, eye-hand coordination, ideation, and it goes up to the last few fortnights of the year program is then the integration of many functions, emotions, memory, and fine motor tasks. Okay, so I just want to discuss, this is a model that Ayres used many, many years ago, but I still like it. It's a pyramid, and it shows you that we follow the bottom-up approach more than the top-down approach. So at the bottom you have your sensory modulation and registration, then you have your sensory motor skills, the orange part, and then perception, and then higher cognitive and fine motor at the top. So it is like looking at an iceberg, where the little tip of the iceberg is what you see in the classroom and at home, the functional issues, but the big part of the iceberg are the foundational skills that is underneath this. So what I do in therapy is I integrate a lot of the higher functions with the low, if you look at the pyramid, higher and lower functions. So I will integrate like things on the on the yellow tip of the triangle with the sensory motor skills. And I continuously do that, and I find that that is quite good to get good results. The CoordiKids program has been developed to focus on the sensory motor skills. We also include some cognitive input later on in the program towards the end. Okay, so then we had to start to make the program. So first of all, as I said, we had the spreadsheet. We followed all the developmental phases, and then we started with the two of us, OTs, and certainly not actresses, embarked on the challenge of creating videos. Now, first of all, there are more Lindys on this page than Margas, mainly because I'm relatively shy, and I think Lindy did a much better job. But I want to show you how challenging this was. The cameraman Louis had his frustrations with two OTs who just couldn't get it right. I'll share a few of the boo-boos with you. We learned about green screens. We learned about talking to the camera and not to a person. Oh, sorry. That should, this one. Okay. And we had our laughs. The tears were saved for our personal spaces. And then, of course, we had the Afrikaans and English languages, and even our official actress model made mistakes. So after 218 video exercises, we had that ready. We had an introduction by either Lindy or I, a slide with goals and tips, and the exercises. So then it looked like that. We sent it off to a clever lady in America, and it came back looking like this. Okay, so as you can imagine, that was quite challenging for two OTs. So let's just look at the next slide. So what we did after we developed the first program, the Coordi Child Program, we decided it needs to be easier to use. All parents doesn't like the whole program, so we just put it in the three sections, the basic, the intermediate, and the advanced section, to complete the task and the complete program. And then we added the quiz on the website so that parents can do the quiz and can see where the child fits in and which program will be the most beneficial for the child. That will all be then 4-month program, and the complete one is a 1-year program. Then we added 4 parent education webinars. The first one is on how to use the program. The second one is on sensory motor skills, then one on parenting, and then on your child completed the Coordi Child Program, what is next? Or your child completed therapy, what to do next? And then the equipment list is minimal equipment, but say they still have to have it ready. It's usually household items. It's cheap and easy to buy. They might be, for instance, plastic straws or a gym ball. And then we added score sheets, so it's a grid to tick after each exercise to track progress so that parents can know where they're at. And then we added additional programs to meet needs. So we added a Coordi Kindy program, and the Kindy is for kindergarten, prep or preschool. It's 15 fortnights, so it stretches over 30 weeks, and it can be done in that age group 4 to 6. And then the other one is the Coordi Class program, which is excellent for the essential movement breaks in the classroom. And they are also 30 weeks and 15 fortnights. So this is what we came on after a few after a few months and a few people giving us feedback and asking questions, we changed all of this. So then the next one is, I just want to show you on our website the layout of the program. So it will come up now. So you can go to the Coordi Kids website, choose the Coordi Child option, and then you can see the layout of the program. So you saw on that video of the exercises that each level, there are 8 levels, so each level has a different background, but we keep the same introduction little music clip every time. So the first level is about sensory processing, and you can go back to the website and study this in detail. The second level is sensory motor skills, more muscle tone, body awareness, core, muscle strength, balance. And then the third level is brain bridging, and that's just a term that we use for the public. It's actually bilateral integration and sequencing. So that starts with easier exercises and it continues with more challenging exercises, and it integrates more than one sense. And level 5 builds upon that, and you can see how many exercises in each level. So 30 exercises, 30 exercises, 30 exercises, 20 exercises in level 6, which includes motor planning, sequential memory, writing and reading of numbers and letters. And then level 7, also 20 exercises, and that is just advanced skills. And it also includes things like emotions and memory, and it gives lovely ideas for parents to use that at home. Level 8 is actually only 1 fortnight, and it's just a wrap-up of everything that they did. So there's the link to a video of each an example of each of the exercises on each level. So in total, 218 videos. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because you can read it at home, and then you can ask more questions. Okay, so the next one, just to explain, 218 video recorded exercises or activities, 26 fortnights, that's 52 weeks. A parent has access to this for a 3-year period. So I came across other programs who actually said, oh, sorry that your child fell ill, so you missed a month, or this is too challenging for your child, they can't complete and they can't continue, sorry, you wasted your money, I don't want that. So we said they can use it for 3 years. They pay for 1 year, but they use it for 3 years. That gives them the opportunity to use it for a younger sibling as well. It can be used in the whole family, which is great. Okay, so as I said, CoordiChild has a basic, intermediate, and advanced section. The Coordi class is there for any age. I'm sure it will be fantastic in the office situation as well to give those essential movement breaks, and then CoordiKids for the kindergarten group. Coordi Consult is on the website. It's not a program, but it is to consult online and to do mentoring. Okay, so use the CoordiChild program. Let me just see if there's a question here. It seems to me my voice was lost at some stage. I hope it's okay now. It seems to be okay. All right. So sorry for that. So if you want to use the CoordiKids to complement therapy sessions, how do you do that? And why is it easy to use? First of all, it's online. It's ready to use anywhere. Anywhere where you have Wi-Fi or internet access, you can use the program. You can choose the specific exercises that you want to do. If you become a provider, you will get a sheet of all the exercises and all the numbers of the exercises, so you can choose the specific ones. The child follows a model, so it's much easier than to show the parent who might do it incorrectly and then the child does it incorrectly as well. Then the therapist can skip the intro, the goal, and the tips if that's not necessary. So in your therapy session as such, you can skip those and just show the exercises for the child, and then it leaves you as therapist available to observe the child. Then you can demonstrate these videos to use for home exercises, and then also to measure progress. It's quite easy to see, and you can video record the child, of course, and see how he compares after a while on the same exercise. Then also you can use these exercises in groups, small groups. I wouldn't say 10 or 20 in a group, but for small groups it's quite good. The CoordiKids and Coordi class are developed for bigger groups of children that can be used in a classroom for 20, 30 kids. And they don't need a lot of space to do it in, so they can do it in the normal classroom. Okay, so when do you use these exercises? First of all, for individual therapy sessions, when they become too expensive for parents, when parents need more funding and they can't get it, and then they go for monthly sessions or even less, or they stop therapy altogether. For those parents, you can use this to complement therapy sessions, and I find it very valuable. I see a number of children only once a month because they cannot afford more often, but they can afford once a month with the monthly payment for CoordiChild. And then also if it meets one of your therapy goals, so a therapy goal might be to address specifically the sensory motor skills, if you want kids to practice regularly throughout the week, and if you want to incorporate other family members, many families find it quite a lovely task for the whole family. Okay, so you can give specific exercises and activity as homework. The therapist choose the activities. You have the demonstration video. You can check the child's performance, and you can give homework guidelines. So the parent can purchase one of the programs, so the therapist can recommend you buy the complete program, or you might only need the intermediate or only the advanced program. And for that, you can use the quiz on the website to identify which program will be the best. The child exercises at home, but the therapist monitors. So the child come back once a month or send videos of his performance. And I can tell you that you read quite a bit from videos if the parents send you videos of these exercises, because you know exactly what it should look like, and you can easily just give advice to the parent. And then also you can record progress, because we follow the neurodevelopmental stages. You can easily see the progress the child is making. And then also you can then use your therapy sessions to tend to the cognitive, the emotional, the perceptual, or the fine motor skills. And then they do the sensory motor skills at home. That regular exercise is so important. The other time that I use this is towards the end of therapy, when a child they have met more or less all my goals, but they're not there yet, but it's too expensive to continue with therapy sessions. So then I recommend use only the advanced program, just to make sure that that bilateral integration is really well established, or just make sure that the core muscles are really well developed, or your child needs some more motor planning and ideation, just bought by the advanced program. Or even sometimes they just need more modulation, and then they can use the basic program, just modulation and core muscle exercises, balance. I don't think this program will ever replace individual therapy sessions. This is not why it was developed. It's definitely developed to use complementary to therapy sessions. Okay. Any other questions? I don't see more questions. Let me just check here. Okay. Then, okay, one of the things that you can do is to generate an extra income. The first thing is to become an affiliate member. And what you do, you just go to the website and under CoordiKids, there's an option for affiliate member. You go on there, all the information are there. And we do this one through ClickBank. ClickBank is a very secure, very well-known payment system, and we use this for CoordiKids. So this is when they use monthly payments. They can also use the basic, intermediate, and advanced programs on the monthly payments only. That's the way ClickBank works, and that is why we also have our payments for the programs in US dollars and not in other currencies, because ClickBank works in US dollars. The other option is PayPal. So we use that for the CoordiKids, a once-off payment for the whole program, or a once-off payment for the basic, intermediate, and advanced programs. Then we use PayPal also for CoordiKids and also for CoordiKids. So with PayPal, these once-off payments, what happens is that CoordiKids takes 10% of the price for admin costs, and the rest are divided 50-50 between us and the affiliate member. So that is what you can do as an affiliate member. You don't need anything else. It doesn't cost anything to become an affiliate member. You just register, and just keep in mind that we can only see an email because ClickBank is so secure. So if you register as an affiliate member, just please send us a note to say that you have registered, and then we can support you and we can help you with any resources that you might need to improve your services as an affiliate member. Okay, then the second thing that you can do to generate an income is to become a CoordiKids provider. This will give you access to all the activities that you can use in therapy. So it's 218 video recordings. You can use the program individually in therapy sessions. You can use the program in small groups. Let me just tell you that if you are a provider, you don't have only access for 3 years. You have the program. That's your program then. You can also train an OTA to present groups. So we don't, for providers, we don't specifically look at therapists. There are many other very, very good people who have fantastic skills to use and have fantastic background in working with children, and they can all be trained as a CoordiKids provider, and they can actually provide little groups in your practice or at schools. You can also recommend CoordiClass and CoordiKindi to schools and preschools, and then as a provider you will get the same benefits as an affiliate member. Actually, we recommend that you register as an affiliate member in any case when you're a provider, because if you sell programs from your practice you'll get the benefit. And then also you'll have access to presentations to explain these programs to parents, to schools, and to kindergartens. So we have recorded webinars which you can use, or you can use only the slides of the webinars to go through it and to explain to schools what they will get if they purchase a program. Okay, so as a CoordiKids provider, our investment in you will be, first of all, we'll have an initial interview. We need to make sure that we are on the same page, that we are thinking about children and services that we provide in the same way. We are not looking for people who only want to make money. We want people to come on board with our mission. So the initial interview is quite important, and after that we can decide, and you can decide whether you want to be a provider or not, and we can decide whether we want to train you as a provider. So then you'll also get the CoordiChild program with all the upgrades and the layout with the exercise numbers, which will make your life quite easy. Secondly, you get the CoordiKids provider training, and that is about 40 hours online, which you need to complete in about a 3-month period. It includes 10 assignments. For a therapist, it's really not difficult. It's all there. I send the webinars or the handouts or the book or whatever you have to read, lots of articles, and you just do the assignments and all the answers are there, but we need to make sure that we are all on the same page. Then we support you in business development with social media, with pamphlets, with whatever is necessary. We can help you in supporting this CoordiKids provider business. We'll provide client registration and progress forms. We are in the process of developing a computer program where everything will be on. So providers will be on there, and all children using the program will be there, and we'll be able to keep track of every child. At the moment we're a bit small, but we are definitely looking into that, and that will be a possibility in the near future. Then we provide an assessment tool to monitor the progress of the children, and we also provide webinars and web clinics which you can use to educate parents, clinicians, and if you want to train another provider. Okay, then your investment will be 2,000 Australian dollars, which is a lot, but if you look at what you get, it's not too much. And up to June this year, we'll train an additional person for free for that amount of money, but thereafter the value will be $500 for an additional trainer. And then also, as you see children, you'll have to pay a minimal royalty payment per client, but it is minimal, and it's just to maintain that contact with everybody, including the clients, which will be your clients, but because you're a CoordiKids provider, it will also be our clients, so we'll have to look after that. Now, hopefully with this extra income that you can generate, you might have some time to relax. Okay, let me just check. No more questions. Okay, and the next section is to improve therapy results through our program. First of all, the parents paid for the program, so they are motivated to do it and to do these exercises at home. It's not just another sheet with printed exercises that the therapist gave and that mum has lost somewhere. It's something that she actually has paid for. It's online, it's ready to use anytime, and they're usually better motivated. You maintain contact, so the therapy is more affordable. You can do monthly visits or fortnightly visits, but you still maintain that contact and you check the progress. And you can provide additional advice, you can provide additional activities if necessary, or other exercises or other activities, of course strategies for classroom and all of that. And then the parents will also have access to the informative webinar recordings. So the webinars that I spoke about earlier, how to use the program, sensory motor skills, parenting styles, what happens after CoordiKids or after therapy, and then there's a whole series on sensory processing disorder, including modulation and dyspraxia, one on a sensory diet, and there are more to come. So I think the next one will be sensory processing disorder and autism, and then one on anxiety as well. So we also provide an assessment tool, so just to test, retest, and to monitor progress. You can use your preferred assessment tool of sensory motor skills. It will be great to use other tools as well. We just have a very short one, very easy to use for all providers. If you are interested in research, contact us. We just might have a great opportunity for you. Okay, so just to recap, the CoordiKids provider, we often have problems with funding. We don't want to nurture the child with money. We want to nurture the child with fantastic activities and fantastic exercises and fantastic therapy options. So if money is a problem, we need to find other ways to help the child. And we can nurture the child with much cheaper ways and save a lot of money. So one thing that we want all CoordiKids providers come on board with is with our mission. And we have a mission to serve children and their families, to overcome obstacles and to develop their potential. We help children to be optimally developed and happy. We offer our programs at affordable prices with all the support that members need to enjoy exceptional service and support. So I'll just have a look at another questions. So you can contact me with questions. You can make an appointment on CoordiConsult. The appointments, you will see it in your time zone, so there are various ones available. Have a look there and you can make a short appointment so that we can just discuss your issues. And once you want to be a CoordiKids provider and we did the initial interview, we'll go through you step by step with the whole business layout and the operations and procedures manual, and then we can start with the training. So it seems to me that we have come to the end of this webinar. There aren't any questions, so I hope that I answered all your questions, and I do hope that you might be interested in this option, and I hope that you might be able to use the programs either as an affiliate member or as a provider in your practice and in your work, and to recommend this program because it really addresses skills that many children have problems with. So I hope to hear from you very soon. All the best. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much. It was a lovely crowd, and I would love to hear from you again. And good night.